The best songs of all time. 979 FM.
Got a young man tuning up his banjo here. How you going?
Very good, thank you.
What's the name of your band that's going to be here this afternoon today?
The band is called 5 O'Clock Charlie.
I pick a wee bit of an Irish accent.
Yeah, I'm from Tipperary myself, all the way from Ireland. But so I'm here 3 years. I need to do another year or two before I'll get my little plant and swearing to the Queen and all the rest of it.
You swear at the Queen? No, you can't swear at the Queen.
No, isn't it?
Yeah. So what type of music are you going to be playing today?
It's a mixture of folk. We're trying to have quite a few Australian songs in there, Australian traditional, some of them about immigrating from places like Ireland and coming to Australia, which is what today is about, really.
That's it. So how long have you been strumming and plucking the banjo here? I've got to be very careful how I say that, don't I?
That's a good point. How long? Yeah, I suppose I started in the mid-20s. Came to Balan 3 years ago and met these guys who were all locals around here, and so I'm a bit of a blow-in myself, and we played together for 3 years. We were formed as a band anyway, so, and it's great today to come to Melton and actually get a gig like this, and especially when I'm looking forward to doing this myself in a couple of years.
You're hungry, I tell you, the ladies over there have got free lamingtons. You can't get better than that. I love it. Have you ever had a lamington?
Yes, I've tried the lamingtons and they're pretty nice, I must say.
They're beautiful. The sausages are just getting set up over here. So how long have you been playing the banjo?
The banjo itself, only just a couple of years.
You like it? Is it hard to learn, or?
It takes a bit. I actually got a son called Banjo, believe it or not.
Really?
And,
really?
He's an unusual one from Ireland, and when I came here, anyway, my wife is Australian, and she wanted a strong Australian name in Ireland, so I was playing the banjo one night, and she says, that's what I'm going to call my son. And I tried everything to talk her out, but anyway, it suits him perfectly. He's 14 years of age now. When I came here first, I met Marty from the band, and believe it or not, he's got a son called Banjo as well, and the two of us started practicing together. There was a connection, and the rest of the guys joined us on, so that's how our band came together. It was formed pretty much around the name Banjo, and but I'm playing just myself a couple of years, and anyway, I do enjoy it, and I love playing with these guys, and it's a great outlet.
So what would be your most Irish famous band? Would you look at, not excluding U2?
And I must admit, I love the Irish kind of folk bands like the Pogues.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Pogues.
And we do play a couple of the Pogue songs. We play Jesse James, and we play Dirty Old Town. Yeah. A few of those songs, the guys have embraced them.
What about the Corrs?
Yes, I do like the Corrs, but I must admit, we don't play much of their music. I don't think I have the voice for the Corrs music.
I know, yeah, but you know.
And I love the older bands from Ireland, the Dubliners, and
yes.
Christy Moore, I like myself. He's a folk singer in Ireland, and I sing a few of his songs as well.
Have you heard of a guy called Dermot O'Leary?
Dermot O'Leary, I have, yes.
And he's had a single, because my former radio station in Sydney had an Irish show, and they had a thing called Now You're Sucking Diesel. Bought this single out called Now You're Sucking Diesel.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, that was quite a... Yes,
1980 something, not 83, 84 that was.
I think at one stage he came out here, and I think he did Port Ferry Festival, or one of those festivals one time as well. And so I do love going down to Port Ferry and hearing those the folk songs and things like that. But
do you have a CD out, or are you in the midst of making one? Or
CD out. It's basically called 5 O'Clock Charlie. We released it during the year, and oh yes, we've
already got your card, so we'll look after you.
Yes, if you don't mind, it'd be great if we played. So we have a lot of those. Our common songs, we have Dirty Old Town and Jesse James. We have Way Out West from Australia, the Australian old tradition.
James Blundell and James Rain.
This is James Rain. It's from the first place I saw that was from this film Red, isn't it?
The Red Dog.
Red Dog, and actually it was fantastic. He
only died a couple of months ago, actually. Yeah, unfortunately, very sad.
Fantastic film, and that's when I first heard that song, and I thought, wow, I must learn that, you know. And we're going to start off today with that song, actually.
So, do you miss any hurling when you come out to Australia?
Yes, I used to love the hurling, and I played with Tipperary. Tipperary is where I'm from in Ireland, and my passion was hurling, and so I do miss it here. They play a little bit in Keysborough down in...
yeah, I know where that is, just near Dandenong, yeah.
Yeah, I lived here back in the 15, 20 years ago, I lived here and I played for Victoria and for Melbourne, and we used to go to Brisbane and New Zealand playing hurling matches. But so anyway, since I came back, I'm gone a bit old in the tooth now. But,
I'm never old.
But I have two boys, 12 and 14, and it's one of the things they do miss from Ireland. They love the hurling and the football and things, and but they're taking up the cricket here and they're embracing the culture. And,
so what would be now? This is a typical Irishman question. What's your favourite drink?
I was going to ask him that.
yes.
Oh, it'd have to be that thing in the black can.
Black stuff, yes.
Tar.
I must admit, I love the pint of Guinness, and I tried here some places, and it's not too bad either. But when I go home, nothing like a creamy pint of Guinness.
Apparently Kilkenny's out here too now.
Yeah, I see Kilkenny in the shops, and it happens Kilkenny are our biggest rival in the hurling, so I don't...
So you obviously don't drink with that.
No, so their drink is a mixture of Guinness and an ale, Smithwick's ale. It's kind of a mixture, half and half, from what I understand.
Tell me, can you explain to me why, when you open the can of Guinness, it has the big ball bearing in it? Does that discharge the gas or something? Or?
Yeah, it's something got to do with the gas discharge. It needs to have a head to be any good, so it needs to get this extra burst of energy.
So that was that bloke meant when I put a Guinness on the bar, and he said, "Look at the head on that."
That's pretty much it. In Ireland, that's the one thing. A pint has to settle for about 3 or 4 minutes. When people complain if they get too large a head, they call it a bishop's collar, and they're going to get less Guinness, so you're always looking for a priest's collar. Yeah. And they say it was 1759 Guinness was written, and it's written on all the cans, and people said, well, how did it come up with the head? And they reckon that 1759 the Angelus bell rang in Ireland, and the guy had to stop pouring, and suddenly when the Angelus was over, he realised it had a better head on it, and that's where the myth comes from.
So there you go, Jeff. What about, are you going to go and see Mrs. Brown, Brendan O'Connor, since he's out here?
Oh, Brendan O'Connor, yes.
Mrs. Brown, he's down here in Melbourne actually now as we speak.
I went to see him last year, and he was actually quite good. So sometimes he's on the cutting edge a little bit, and for the kids and that, but I do enjoy him, and he's a good success story, in fairness. He was almost bankrupt a few years ago and came up with this concept. And I remember he was on a radio show. He used to be driving around Ireland as a sales rep, and he got a 5-minute slot on the radio at 4 o'clock every evening doing this little sketch called Mrs. Brown, and it developed from that into a stage play, and what he's done at the moment, which is so well done to the guy. Yeah,
well, I had a guy that likes the Wolf Tones, and gave me a whole thing of send-ups by a radio station in Ireland called 2FM, where they actually ring this lady by the name of Deidre from a hearing aid place, and it's a skit, and where it's just typical Irish humour, and it comes out across really good.
Is it, yeah? And so what's that got to do with the Wolf Tones? I'm trying to think.
I'm just saying the Wolf Tones and different things. I'm keeping an Irish flavour.
The Wolf Tones, I must say, I do enjoy their music. They have great passion in their music. Sometimes a lot of their teams are old, so, but people have moved on, but they have fantastic music, and when you go to one of their concerts, it's one of the best experiences ever. So, and they do have songs in New York, and I can't think of the name now of everything, but they have some fantastic songs out over the years. But
they do.
And at the Pogues, by the way, at Christmas time, I love their song Fairy Tale of New York, and it's one of those favourites I like to play, but you only get to play it once a year and things like that. But anyway, it's a fantastic setup here today.
It is very well, isn't it?
And
I think it's... anyway, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, a couple of years' time when I qualify fully to...
Oh, you'll be here, and you'll be strumming the banjo and playing and getting your citizenship at the same time.
Yes, I hope in that sense. So,
we will congratulate him.
A little multicultural. Melton here is from London as well, and he's immigrated here. He got his citizenship many years ago, 10 or 15 years ago. And so Martin and the rest of the guys, I think, are pretty Australian, all right.
Can't beat it. You like Vegemite?
And we do have a
didgeridoo.
We have a didgeridoo player here today as well, so that should add a little bit of Australian flavour.
Good. All right, well, we'll leave you in peace. Thanks for the little chat.
Thank you. It was very interesting.